This is the trade review for Thursday, the 2nd of May 2024. And today I chose Tesla rather than AMD. AMD was trading just below S3, and I thought it was going to be a bit more complicated. Uh, it was opening within yesterday's range, so I didn't like it as much as I like Tesla. Tesla was opening in the gray area, but it was rejecting uh, our R1, and well, more than that, it was just that we had a short squeeze on Tesla, and it was just a short squeeze. It wasn't happening really with buyers as well. So on this day, before the end of the month, one day before the end of the month, we had the biggest volume, and it resulted in some selling pressure, even though we closed higher. And after that, we've been just dropping. So today I expected continuation to the downside. And we're opening very close to R4, which made it a bit more complicated. But I was expecting a reversal. So all of this information, which I wrote, we had lower value, bearish pivots, but they were a bit tighter than yesterday. Price was overlapping uh, from yesterday, and we were tighter, so we could have had a breakdown or a breakup to the top side. But because of the bearish bias, I was expecting a continuation after we test R4, or we tried to test the pre-market high. And I was also expecting a traverse, but I was also thinking of a third plan, which is entering for a breakout of R4, if we had happened to get a lot of volume. Pre-market tried to break from R4, bounce of R2. We opened just below R4, tested, but price rejected. I was thinking about making an entry short here. We set BPOC here, but actually prop a little higher. I wanted the reversal to happen here. I didn't want the price to prop too high. We had a solid number here, 184, but it actually went a little higher. So uh, so it closed higher than the previous candle. So I wasn't feeling too bullish. I looked a bit of an open auction. I wasn't expecting a straight reversal, but we did have a very long rejection to the top side, and you can see here actually probe a little higher. But by the time I recognized that we were failing to break 184.50 and we engulfed the previous candle, the drop was very swift, and as you can see, we closed too far from me from R4 to make an entry, although I could have taken it here for a continuation, as that was my main thesis, but I decided to just wait and take the perfect entry. We had a pretty nice run to the downside. This looks like a double distribution trend day because we had this open auction here, and we broke off from this range, which I guess will make my entry here for the breakdown. Okay, you can see that we didn't retest it after we failed here, but that's where I wanted to make my entry. Unfortunately, that I missed it. I was very careful for a reversal. We had a nice doji here at the gray area, but we still had bits to the downside. So I know that that's where the liquidity was, and the market maker was gonna continue to fill those orders. So we continue dropping. We broke from yesterday's range, which made it even worse for reversal because now we're trading with infinite potential to the downside. And I saw this hammer here at S3. But again, we didn't have, it had some volume, but we didn't have liquidity to the top side, and we still had a stack at 177 and 176. So I decided to wait and I was rewarded for my patience. As you can see, we closed here on a hammer, so it kind of gave opportunity for you to get out a break even. We made an entry, and the price drop fell to get to S4, form another hammer with fairly high volume, and I decided to pull the trigger once we failed to drop below 176.80. I was watching closely the price action here, and then after the hammer close, I was looking for the entry carefully, and I decided to pull the trigger at the best pullbacks. Recognizing that I was paying close attention to the tape, so I knew the price wasn't going any lower than this, and we had a nice run to the top side. But again, there was no stacks to the top side, so I decided to just get allowed at 2 to 1. Due to the lack of liquidity, and as you can see, it went to my target a little higher but failed, reversed. Will have stopped me out here, I think. Yeah, it will have definitely stopped me out if I had waited for 3 to 1. And then price form a really nice doji, and I think this could have been the A setup for a reversal, recognizing that there is no more liquidity to the downside, and an entry here will be rewarded with 3 to 1, and so on and so on. So I think that was the entry to take, but I was just tired of missing out on entries, and this was good enough for me. It was a strong rejection of S4, so I pulled the trigger, but I recognized the situation. We were on a double distribution trend day, so I decided to stay away from being patient with my partials. But that's it for my review. Finally took a trade. Respect the rules. I think I recognize very well what happened today. My emotions. 7, I did miss out on that early entry, which would have been great. Excellent planning. Mission. We did meet goal today, 100%, 1-3. And resulted in 2R, which is the minimum, but that's fine. I'm leaving a little money on the table, but it's better than losses. This was a small traverse, just meeting goal. Just balance, resulting in a win and 2R. And this is gonna go into my stats. A, yes, win, 2R. Finally got a training on a Tuesday, and that's it for the trading review.